Today's video has been requested based on my Instagram stories, and it is all about how I use the app Trello to organize pretty much everything in my whole life. So first of all, I should say that this video is not sponsored by Trello. It's just what I genuinely use all day, every day, and you guys have seen on my Instagram that I post screenshots of it, and so you've asked me how it works. So the first thing that I use it for is for my to-do list, and I will have some stuff come up on the screen, but with Trello, it's basically like post-it notes in sections. So you can make any note you like, and you can just drag and drop them around, delete them, change their color, like put them in different columns, and they kind of organize into these column brackets. So this is how I do it, but I'm going to show you several different examples of different ways that I do stuff so you can work out what's going to be best for you. So the first one is my to-do lists. For my to-do lists, I have a today list, which has the post-its on that I'm going to do today. They're the tasks that I'm doing today. I don't always manage to do them all, but that is my intention. Then I also, at the top of that, have in yellow my goal or goals for the week. Every morning, I move a bunch of stuff into the today list to be the things that I'm going to be doing on that day. Then the second one that I have is waiting. That is things which I aren't complete. I'm maybe waiting for someone else. So for example, if I have a problem with one of our Amazon products, my task will be fix this product. And once I contact Amazon support, I'll put it in waiting just to remind me that I'm going to need to come back to that. Did they reply? Is it done yet? Because it's not finished. The product is not fixed, but it's not currently on my to-do list anymore because I have made a start on it. So that's what the waiting list is for. Then the next one is the next priority list. This used to be a tomorrow list. I used to do today, tomorrow, this week, but I found that I just got really overambitious and I put too much in today, too much in tomorrow, too much in this week, and it started not being a tomorrow list. It started just being a as soon as you can get to it, please, Louise list. So that's what I call it now. I call it the next priority list. And so mostly my today list is built up from things that are moving off that list into today. So next priority is stuff that is pretty urgent or stuff which is the next priority. So it might not be urgent, it might be building something for a future project, but it's the things that I want to work on next that are going to move me towards my goals. And the next one that I have is my master list. If you know about time management already, then this will be something which you have heard of before. Your master list is everything that you intend to do ever. It's just your huge brain dump of stuff that needs to be done. So I have everything in there from watch this documentary to, buy Granny's Christmas present and just everything. So it's not necessarily stuff that I'm going to do this week, this month, maybe even this year possibly, but it's things that I am committed to doing, things that I intend to do. So if you put something on your master list, that means you're going to do it, but it's just not today. And so the idea is that every day you move a couple of things off your master list onto your today list. I just also have that next priority list as well, because my master list tends to get really long and quite messy. So I feel like having the next priority means that things that I'm a bit worried might get lost in the master list can be kind of highlighted there as things that I do really need to crack on with as soon as possible. So that's my master list, and those are my core lists. But the other kind of more random things that I have an at-home list for the couple of weeks a year when I'm in the UK. It's things like getting something off an external hard drive which I've left at my parents' house. So when I'm back in the UK, I look at the at-home list and I'm okay, these are the things that I can move on to now. So I have that list, but you might have something different, you wouldn't have an at-work list, but it's just a kind of little brain dump of things which you cannot act on now, but you are going to need to act on at some point. So I have an at-home one, then I also have an in Georgia one for our apartment in Georgia, so that when I'm there, there's things that need to be prepared or fixed, or things I need to speak to, or things I need to buy. So that all goes in the Georgia list. Then the final thing that I have, which is related to a master list, is a someday maybe list. And that is things which I'm not committed to, because if they're on my master list, I'm going to do them at some point. Whereas someday maybe is things that I might do, but if you put it on your master list, that's like a personal promise to yourself that you're going to do it. And this concept, I don't know if he invented it, but is from my dad, who is a business coach and he teaches time management. So this is one of his things that he does. So he has a master list, a daily list, and a someday maybe list as well. So quite often I move things off my master list if I'm just not getting to them and I suddenly realize I'm not going to do this. Like, this is really not something I'm actually committed to. Then I move it onto my someday maybe list, and then I periodically go through and delete a bunch of stuff off the someday maybe, just like I admit to myself that I'm never going to do it. The final list that I sometimes have is a like temporary kind of little pop-up list. So right now it is December and I have a before the end of 2020 kind of little goals list. I also had, when I was in Chiang Mai, I had like a Chiang Mai bucket list. So those are just things that I want to do in the next couple of months that are maybe not a to-do list. It was more things like goals like work out 10 times, or when we were in Chiang Mai it was a bit more of a bucket list, like, you know, go and see the elephants or go to this particular restaurant or see these people. So that's kind of a little pop-up list that I have just for a short time when I have a little kind of sprint goals. But normally I just have today, next priority, master list, someday maybe list, and then some kind of weird location or project based ones. So that is how I do my just normal to-do list. Then a couple of things about the color coding, which I know you guys are going to be into, is I have the yellow tab at the top of my today list, which is my goals for the week. So for example, it's really just my focus. So it's like, this week, the most important thing I need to do is launch 2 new Amazon products. And there will be a bunch of other things on my to-do list that are not related to that, but that's the things that I really want to achieve this week, and I'll feel really good if I've done them. But then I also have a green task each day, and that is my frog task. So there's a famous book called Eat That Frog, which is where you do the thing that you're most procrastinating or most scared of or most don't want to do first thing in the day. And then either it was as bad as you thought and it was just like, oh, that was such an unpleasant task, I had to like, you know, phone a call center and get annoyed at somebody because they've overcharged me, or whatever you're really resisting doing. Either it was really terrible and then at least it's done, everything else in your day cannot be as bad as that, or it was actually fine and you've got it out the way and now the whole rest of your day is just like plain sailing and you don't have this task hanging over you. And also, normally the thing that you're procrastinating is probably the thing that will move you forward the most. So with the business, you know, if it's like, I don't want to write any more Amazon listings, it's really boring, or I'm procrastinating it, then that's actually probably the thing that will help me the most, because that's maybe why I'm procrastinating it. Humans are weird creatures. So I have a green task each day, and I normally choose the green task the night before. So I say, like, tomorrow the first thing I'm going to do is this, and I make sure that is the first thing that I do, or at least the first few things. I really try and get it done before lunch, and then that green task is deleted. So those are how I organize my to-do lists on my Trello board. But I wanted to try and make it easier for you to translate into how you would use it by showing you some other ways that I use Trello. I think of it almost like a spreadsheet, in that you're choosing what the columns are going to be. So for me, my columns are my different like kind of time periods of lists and sometimes locations of lists. But I also have a Trello board for planning my YouTube videos, and in that case it's in categories. So I will have like videos that I want to record about Amazon or about Udemy or about like more kind of philosophy, like self-helpy things, or travel vlogs. And within those lists, I will drop in just a like post-it, a little note of which video ideas will fit within that category. And then I normally have a separate list of the videos that I want to film next. So I'll move from the Amazon list. I'll be like, oh, an Amazon update video is the next one that I want to do, and I'll move it into my like to film next category. So that's how I use it for videos. So that might suit you better if you work on projects. You might want to have separate project columns. Then I also have a Trello board for organizing trips. So when we went to Japan, we went to about 6 different cities, and in each city there was different things I wanted to do. So I had the columns as the cities. So it was like in Hakone, I want to go to these restaurants or see these things, what bus I'd booked, what hotel I'd booked. So I had the columns as locations. But when I went to Budapest, it was all Budapest, but it was for about 5 days. And so I had the columns as days. So on Saturday, I wanted to make sure that we went to, the synagogue because it was free entry on Saturdays, or go to this restaurant. And so I had it separated into days. So it kind of is up to you how you want to use it like that. The last way that I use it, which is brand new for me, but I think I would recommend, is I have a 2020 plan of the things that I want to achieve, and I'm doing it by month. So each month I want to factor in, it's all color coded. So I have orange for seeing my family. I want to try and see my family much more next year. So at least like maybe every other month, I want to try and see them. So that will be the orange item, and I can see the whole year laid out, and I can be like, oh, I'm not seeing them for 4 months in the summer. So I have an orange one for seeing family, a yellow one for seeing friends. Another goal for me is to strengthen existing friendships. So I want to try and do more weekend trips with friends, go and visit friends. So that's a yellow thing. Then green is Amazon targets. So milestones that I want to reach, like do I want to launch products? Do I want to get more reviews? Do I want to improve the profit margin? And I'm going to have kind of one goal per month for that. And then red is for health. It's not like my to-do list. It's just kind of a map of the year of how I want to make sure that I'm maintaining things that I say are a priority to me. So I say seeing friends or seeing family or working on my health are priorities. So I'm going to put kind of one mini goal for each month into this Trello board for that. It's also really good for working in teams because you can have a shared Trello board with other people. So I've also used Trello boards in the past for joint projects where the columns have been names. So it's been like the tasks for Louise, the tasks for Rachel, and then we've moved tasks across depending on who's going to do them, and you can allocate tasks to other people and see them crossed off and all that kind of stuff. The final thing that I use on my Trello board, which is a really handy tool, is called If This Then That. And it's an app, and you can program it to kind of link your different apps together. So actually you can do a ton of stuff on it. I use it so that when I post on Instagram, it automatically posts that on Twitter. You can link like Twitter and Facebook. You can link your emails to your Evernote. But I use it mostly for Trello because I have weekly tasks coming up. So on every Monday, I email my granny and my grandma to like keep in touch. So I have a task on If This Then That programmed in so that on Mondays, it adds to my today to-do list to email granny and grandma. And then like once a month, it tells me to check if I've paid our electricity bills in Georgia. So I have recurring tasks from that, and it automatically posts them to my today board on Trello. Then I always have like daily ones to meditate. So you can add as many as you like, monthly, daily, annually, whatever you need. But I really hope that was useful to you guys of how I manage a lot of different projects. You might want to color code your tasks based on your projects. This is how I like to do it. So yeah, I hope that was useful to you guys. I would love to know in the comments what you use to organize your to-do list. If you even have a to-do list, I won't judge you if you don't, whatever works for you. But yeah, let me know if you use Trello, if there's anything you think I can add. I'm always changing how I use it and how I do my to-do list, so would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.